Learning a new skill is exciting. You dream of what can be, the big goal. And some of us might get a bit too eager to get to the big goal. We might glance over the basics and jump right into the fun stuff, which ultimately slows down and overcomplicates the learning process. Late last year, I decided to give animation a try, so I did a bouncing ball exercise, an overly complicated bouncing ball exercise that involved a lot of full body character movement, and then a fully rendered animatic. There's nothing wrong with doing any of these exercises. Actually, these aren't complicated. You should be doing exercises like these, but most of them were not what I should have been working on at my skill level. The sudden progression in difficulty between just these animations is crazy and not a reasonable way to efficiently build up a skill, at least not for me. This year, however, I want to focus on getting really good and really comfortable with the basics. So I sat through some videos that went over the bare bones principles of animation and thought of some very simple exercises that would give me some practice. And it worked until it didn't, because I tried to put all of the exercises together to make a little short story. Needless to say, I got a little carried away and I ended up with this. I don't know how I started here and ended up here, but I did and needed to scale it way back. I wanted to practice arcs, so to help myself refocus, I decided to animate the cat swinging its tail only. So I animated this one thing over and over again until the process of animating the tail came a bit more naturally to me. I even set a time limit to force myself into really focusing on the main task. And with repetition, I was able to add a bit more with each iteration. That did eventually morph into adding way more details than I should have added at this stage of learning, but it was still way simpler than what I was doing before, so hey, it's a start. Okay, cool. Now I have a system that might work for me with practicing, but I think I also need to change my mindset. Because why did I feel the need to add so much detail to a simple exercise? I am new to animation, but I am no stranger to drawings or illustrations. But I've had time to build up my drawing skills and get to the point where I can put a lot of time and effort into special effects and sometimes complicated details, which are what make my drawings shine. And typically, I only post the finished pieces, so posting something this simple made me feel uncomfortable. And despite being happy with how this animation turned out, you can tell I haven't built my animation skills like I did with my drawing skills. I'm clearly a beginner. So I overcompensated a bit by adding all the extra details. And while some of the best animations out there are super polished, super detailed, and have amazing color, a good animation should stand on its own without all of that. Illustrations are about the looks. And while flashy looks can really elevate an animation, animations are ultimately about motion. So I should focus more on interesting motions instead of pretty graphics. The detailed graphics can come later. So for now, I think the best way for me to focus on my specific animation goals is to focus on a limited number of concepts. One, no more than 2 concepts at a time. Practice a few times until I feel comfortable, and I'll likely continue to time myself just to help me really zone in and focus on the point of the exercise and not get distracted by adding this little thing here and this little thing there. Do not treat animation like illustration. Focus on motion instead of polished looks. There is natural overlap between 2D illustration and 2D animation. You draw a lot in both. Just because you can make a good illustration or drawing does not mean you can make a good animation. Yeah, animation has its own unique set of skills that you need to build up. So I need to be okay with the fact that the visual aspect of my animations for now will not stack up to the visual quality of my fully rendered illustrations. I'm a beginner, that's okay. And with that being said, I need to remember those things and be patient with myself. My learning methods might change over the course of this learning process, but I think keeping these basic concepts in mind will help me achieve my goals the way I want to. But I am open to any suggestions you might have. Are you an experienced animator, or are you currently learning animation too? What tips help you stay on track? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to show your support. I have shops on DISPLATE and INPRNT if you want to buy any of my illustrations, or you can like and subscribe to follow me on my animation journey. Doing any one of those things helps a lot, but even if you don't want to do any of those things, I hope you relax if you need to, be productive if you need to. Either way, take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!